Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Did you ever struggle when you wanted to read an article? The first 100 articles I read, I was confused and I really didn't know how to take good notes on them. However, with time, I asked with many professors some tips, I asked other PhD students, I asked postdocs how I could improve it. And I ended up with a lot of good tips on how to take good notes when you want to read an article. So in today's video, I wanted to share them with you, and I hope it can be helpful to you as well. So the first tip, the first thing that we all have heard about or all have tried at least once is to either print or on the computer to highlight a lot of things. So highlighting can be really nice and helpful if you highlight only the main point that you want to read again when you will go to the article, so you can read it faster the next time. Regardless that thing, highlighting is a waste of time, I think. I think that when you highlight, you basically are just highlighting. When you start highlighting, you want to highlight everything, and so, some people end up having highlighted like all the article basically, just a few sentences. So did it happen to you? Maybe just comment below if this happened to you, to have already highlighted like more or less all of an article. But I mean, it's not useful and it's not a good way to take notes, to my opinion, of course. The second method, and this is the one I like to use, is to summarize the article. Seems quite basic, but you have a lot of ways to do it. So what I basically do is that I read the title and I try to get the big research question from the title or from the last paragraph of the introduction. So you want to get what the authors tried to figure out, what they investigated. And then once you have understood that, what a lot of people like to do, me, I don't find it that useful, but is to write a few sentences of background, like 2 or 3 sentences about what is known, what is the previous work in the field, and this type of thing. I think it's not that useful, because when you do research in the field, basically you know everything about it, or at least a lot about it. So you don't need to, every time you read an article, to summarize the points. I think it's a waste of time. But then what you want to do is to get the smaller research questions, the more specific research questions that you can get in the last paragraph of the introduction or in the figures. Each figure is trying to respond to a specific research question. Like, for example, if the research question of the article was, does this antidepressant reduce depressive-like behavior in rats? Then the research question could be, the more specific research question could be, did we see less anxiety behavior? Did we see less depressive-like behavior? Did we see less inflammation? So 3 questions to respond to the big one. And then you look at the figures. So you write the question and you look at the figures and you say what you see. So, for example, decreased depressive-like behavior or decreased body weight, or whichever, regarding to the article you are reading. And then you look at the methods that they used. What tests did they use when they wanted to investigate that? For example, if they used the forced swim test, so this is a test for anxiety, for depressive-like behavior. So basically you would have the specific research question, which is depressive behavior. When you say decrease in time of immobility in the forced swim test, then maybe decrease or increase sucrose consumption in the SPT, etc. And then you do it for all the specific questions. And thanks to that, when you will go back to your notes later, everything will be structured, and in 5 seconds you will know the point of the article. And you will be also able to use that for when you will want to write your own article or your report or whatever. Then you can try to conclude and discuss the results, so you can read the discussion and see whether or not you agree with the conclusions of the authors. You can also try to go deeper in it, and figure out what could be the next step and so on. So now that you know how to read the article and how to take good notes on it, the question that you may be asking is, but which support? Which material will I use to take the notes? Should I use papers? Should I use software? Should I use Word? So some people like to print all the papers and to write things on them and to also take over papers, to also take over notes. I think it's also a waste of time because, you are in the 21st century and everything is done on computer. You will write your report on computer, you will make your literature, you will create your literature thing in the computer. So if you start printing out everything and to take over notes, I think you just waste time, and at the end you end up with a lot of papers and it's not really relevant and useful, to my opinion. Other people like to use Word or, for example, Evernote. I think Evernote is really nice because you can create tags, and in the tags you can basically put, for example, the topic of the thing. So what you can do in Evernote is to create a new page every time you want to read another article. So then you end up with a lot of different pages, and you can create tags on them, so you can define what is the topic. So this, I think, is really nice because you make the tag, for example, depression, and you put the author's name. So then you just look for a topic, for the topic depression, and for example, for a certain author, you can directly get them really easily thanks to tags. What I personally use is Xmind Pro. It's mind mapping. I use mind mapping to take notes on articles. So basically, XmindX is online free software for mind mapping. And what I do is that in the center, I write, for example, depression or Alzheimer's disease, and then I will make some error to make it, to create the mind map, and then I will put the name of an author, for example, Gap et al. 2015 or whatever. And then I will start to do the thing I told you. Big research question, specific research question, results, methods, and then some discussions. And at the same time, I also try to put all the literature I can. So, for example, when I read reviews, I also do mind mapping. I do the same thing. And so when there is a sentence I like, I don't copy paste it because I prefer to retype it myself with my words. So it's maybe easier to understand, I don't know. But then I always add the references. So next time I will need that information from that sentence, I will have a reference to support it, and it will help me to save time in the long run. When you are reading, you can also create a to read section. So for example, if you end up looking at an article you really liked, you can just put it there and to read it further. Or for example, if there was a reference from an article that you liked, you can also put it there. So later you can check it. And I would like to insist on being clear on your notes. You must be as clear as possible, even if it takes more time, because you must be able to trust your notes. You must trust your notes, because if you don't, you will not want to check them later, and you will tend to reread the articles that you have already read. At the beginning, it's really hard to take good notes, but you will improve over time. Try the Xmind software. It's really amazing, because you can really make arrows and link everything together, and I find it really amazing to do that. You can also add images, and it's different than Word or Evernote, for example, because it's not structured like that, It's not like you write a sentence, then another one, etc. It's more like interactive, and you can play with it around. You can play around with it. And I would like to insist on the fact that you must take the references when you write a sentence. So if you read a sentence that you really liked from an introduction or from a review, put the reference. Put slash, you write the name of the author from the review. You can put equal and you put the reference from that review. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video, but it has been helpful. If it was helpful, just comment below and tell me what you thought about it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like that video, share it with your colleagues if you think it can help them. Share them to your PhD students. I'm sure it will be really helpful for them. And I wish you a great day, and I see you on another video. Ciao.